My name's Ricky. My son. I'm 18, turning 19 soon, and Jack was my brother.
Helen?
Helen, I'm 36. I was Jack's mum.
Ricky?
My name's Ricky Fraser, I'm 38, and I was Jack's dad.
So, Ricky, could you explain to me what's happened over the last month or so?
Our son tragically took his own life, and we were just left with the absolute broken mess that it is. I've got a lot of questions, I've got no answers. This has just got to be my life from here on it, you know? For what I can only describe as a moment of fucking madness with a boy. Just, jumped off a building, you know, just fleet moment he was gone, and I can't take it back.
Helen, today you've been to collect Jack's ashes, is that right?
Yeah.
So, could you run me through your sort of how you've been feeling today and in the build up to today?
We didn't know that we were going to collect his ashes today. Our friend, who's an undertaker, had gotten in touch and told us that his ashes were there and they were ready for us, and I says, right, well, we want to go and collect them. And she says that was absolutely fine, we could do that. So we contacted our best friends, asked them to drive us over. Then we picked up our boy and box.
Ricky, could you tell me about your brother? What was he like?
It's just a bit of an idiot. he was always the funniest guy in the room. Like, he just knew how to make everybody laugh, and like, he'd just come in my room, just try and annoy me constantly. Like, you know what we brothers are like. And that was my favourite part of the day. Like, we worked together, so we were with each other for like 15 hours a day. Leave the house with him, walk with him, and then come home and we'd just sit in my room and listen to music or something. He was really smart as well. He made his own website, coded it himself, was selling his own clothes, designing them. It was awesome. It was really fun to make stuff with him and that.
Good sense of humour.
Ridiculous sense of humour, man.
He was savage. He was an absolute savage.
Mm-hmm.
And you work together, so what do you do for work?
I'm a powder coater, so I paint like panels, and me and Jack's best friend were working there for a while, and we managed to get my job in there because he didn't have anything, so he was working there for like a month and a half. It was fun. Just get to see your best pal every day. Like,
You're proud of him as well, I'm guessing, as your younger brother.
yeah, I loved it. Seeing how good he is at, like, we'd sit and make music together, design clothes. I'd teach him how to draw and stuff, and he'd teach me how to play piano. Just, that's the sort of stuff we'd do.
So he was a musician as well?
We did everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't read music, but
Nah, like, you'd show him a song on your phone, he'd be able to play it from ear. It was ridiculously cool. But that's what I miss, just the stupid wee things that we'd do. Like,
The everyday stuff?
laugh on the back of a bus on the way home from work, going in his room and annoying him, seeing him shout at people on the computer. That's the bits I miss every day.
And you were with him when he died.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to talk us through what happened?
So I was in here and I saw that he sent me a picture of him on top of the building looking down, I just got ready and I ran over. I was wearing this. So I just put the first things I saw on and ran round, because it's only 5 minutes round the corner. And I couldn't figure out how to get in, because I was round the back of it the way I ran. So I had to go up the ramp the cars go up. It was a car park. I get to the top and he's at the very far end of the car park, sitting on the barriers, looking over. And I really want to just run over and grab him, but that's the worst thing you can do in that moment. So I had to just slowly walk across this whole car park, and then get there and try to talk to him, try to see if he's alright, get him to come down. He wasn't really listening, so I had to climb on the barrier with him and just sit next to him. I looked and I'm like, it's a long way down. So I managed to get him down once, and there's a Tesco around the corner, so I'm just like, let's go to the shops, let's get away from here. And he was like, let's wait 5 minutes and not rush anything. So, that's understandable. He took a bike that he'd just bought up with him, so I went and grabbed that. And I was like, let's go a ride or something, let's just have some fun, we've got a whole car park to ourselves. Let's just have a laugh. Got me to put his music on and stuff, try to take his mind off everything. There was like lights, big light pillars in the car park. I was like, let's have a race. You set up where we go and we'll just race each other, have some fun. And because he'd been drinking, he was like, I can't get on the bike, I'll just run. So that's stupid. So we're standing next to the barrier, and he makes us go in this giant square. So I'm like, right, okay. He gives me a fist bump, he's like, 3, 2, 1, go. He just starts sprinting, and I'm like, I'm gonna let him win, so I'm just slowly cycling behind him. I'm like 2 or 3 feet behind, and he goes round that last corner, and he's straight at the barrier, and he just hits a full sprint. I'm like, oh, this idiot's just trying to beat me. So I speed up a wee bit, I'm still like 2 feet behind him. He doesn't stop. He gets to the barrier and he just jumps over. Yeah. So last thing I was expecting then, because that false victory of getting them down once, I was like, oh, I've got him. And I couldn't see it coming. Literally 2 feet away on a bike, I couldn't grab him. Hearing that noise and then looking over is just replays in my head a lot. Because that was my best friend and my brother. So it hurts. I had to go home and tell her. She lost her sister recently. So just, it's a lot of loss in the family now. Just have to cope with it, step at a time.
It's a lot for you to carry on your shoulders as well as a young man.
Yeah, he was barely a year younger than me. So we were really close, especially the past 2 years. We started hanging out a lot. Like when we were younger, we used to hate each other, like, fighting non-stop, always arguing. They hated it.
Yeah.
But
Problem children.
and then we just got closer because we grew up. So we were hanging out constantly. She was baffled when we started hanging out.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you?
They're trying to get them to be pals, and they were total opposites of each other. So Ricky's quite athletic and quite reserved. Jack was more, he didn't like athletics at all. He preferred to be on the computer, and he was very outgoing, and so total opposites. They used to fight all the time in the bedroom, and then I didn't realise They were fighting until one night he hit Jack too hard, and I went into the room and they were like, "But Mum, we fight every night." Like,
What's the issue?
I was really surprised when they started getting on, and I'd hear them saying "love you, bro," and I'd be like, "What? I'm like,
Where'd that come from?
What's going on? What are you talking about?"
Exactly.
Ricky, we were talking before we started recording about sort of events that had happened in the build-up before he died, and obviously suicide's very complex, and there's never just one thing that it can be attributed to. But would you be able to talk us through sort of what happened in the build-up before Jack died, and sort of the picture in your eyes, what the circumstances that led to it?
As best I can. I wasn't here. I was at work. That's what I can hear me. But I know he'd went to work that day. He broke up with his girlfriend. He was struggling with it. I don't know the ins and outs of what happened, but you know yourself, you can have a bad fight, and then you gotta say some shit, and then you can't take it back, so you gotta need to deal with it, and she'll say some shit, and it was one of the fights. And he was in a bad way. Said he was going for a bike ride to clear his head. Ended up killing himself. Ended up killing himself. I mean, drinking a litre and a half of vodka straight, it's not going to fucking clarify nothing for you. You know what I mean? It's not going to compound your problems, but
Especially when he wasn't a big drinker either. He wasn't the type of boy to go out and get... I mean, I'm under no illusions. I don't think my boy was an angel, but he wasn't the type to go out and get absolutely steaming every weekend or anything. He was never that type of boy. But I think when he started drinking, it was a case of, I'm a big man, I can drink a lot and it doesn't affect me. So, like, because he wasn't used to drinking an awful lot, I think he's just drank far too much. And I didn't even know, like, that. He was really good at hiding it, because, like, he was in my room and I gave him a hug, and it says goodbye and then left the room, and I was like, hey, where do you think you're going? Like, you're not going out, you're not allowed it. And then he came back into my room like 10 minutes later and he was like, Mum, listen, I really, really need to clear my head. Like, I'm fine, honestly. You know what I'm like, I don't have any emotions. He always says he didn't have any emotions because he had autism. He was like, you know, I don't have any emotions or anything, so I'm just going to go out and I'm going to clear my head. He was like, that's what I bought the bike for, just to go out and clear my head. And I was like, you're positive? And he was like, yeah, really. And I was looking at him and I was thinking, he's so grown up. He's so grown up, he's just wanting to go get out for a wee bit, he's wanting to clear his head. Right, you know what, if that's something that you need to do, yeah, that's fine. And then I gave him a hug and stuff, and then I heard the door closing, and then 10 minutes later I heard the door closing again. I never realised that was him leaving. I thought Jack had come back, so I was like, oh, right, that's him. And then I fell asleep, and I woke up with a chat to my door. And I says, fuck off.
Right.
He walked into my room. I was like, I'm sleeping, go away. He was like, no, Mum, I need you to come downstairs. I was like, right, fine. Got up, came downstairs, and there was a police there. You know what's coming, but you don't. You know what. I knew what he was going to say to me, but I didn't want to hear it. Yeah, but the moment where life changed forever.
What's the last month been like for you, Ricky? How have you felt? What are the emotions you've been through?
Strange. Because you've got a funeral, you've got reasons you need to get up for, shit you need to do, you're focused. But after the funeral, it's like, I'm lost. I'm empty, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, you know? It's been difficult. Keeps catching me, you know, and being, alright, I'm alright today. Then you break. Then you hear music, then you break. Then you smell something, you break. You hear something, you break. You look at him, you break. Look at her, you break. It's just like, aye, it's got to take, I mean, say, it'll take time, but I don't believe we will recover for this. No, I mean, like, my heart's just broke, but that's just it. You know, but, you know, maybe I'm in less pain than him, you know. So, we'll just keep sticking together as a family and keep going and keep his memory and cherish all the good things that we've got. Because, I mean, I know we only had him 17 years and it doesn't seem like a lot, but 17 years are good memories, you know.
That support network's really important, isn't it? And also in the context when we were talking to Men Matter earlier today, they were talking about the ideas of like traditional masculinity, of having to be like strong all the time, of not letting your guard down, and how that's kind of, well, it's a lie basically. It's not being a real man. Hiding your emotions is not. It's not the right way to deal with it, is it?
No, just like I said to you earlier, I used to break every fucking door in my house because I couldn't convey my emotions properly, and that's no way for somebody to live, man. You know? And that's why as a man, like, you get shamed and, I don't know, it's weak for you to talk about your emotions and do this and that, but, you know, if you're running about being an angry bastard, breaking shit, or you get drinking problems, or your drunk problems, you're a fucking arsehole. So there's no way of winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because society's a dick. So, just be the man you want to be and don't give a fuck what other people say, man. And that's a healthier way to be for you and your family, you know. So try and be that. Yeah. And it's okay to not be okay and all that shit, and talk to people and talk. What you make a day when you open your mouth and nothing comes out? Mm-hmm. There's no words. There's just pain and anguish, or you just fucking tears, you can't stop grieving, you can't, you know what I mean? So I think that's part of the problem. When people do want to speak, there's maybe no that network there. You know what I mean? But aye, that's why you have best pals. So you phone name a bag in their ass. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. So I think people should remember that. Like, you don't need to have counsellors, you don't need to have people's phone numbers that you can phone and speak to, like this group or a charity or this or that. You've got family, you've got friends, there's some cunt you can talk to. There's somebody you can moan at, there's somebody you can say shit to. Either they're not got to talk to you, just got to listen and nod. That's it. You just get it the fuck out of you. Then you'll be good.
We were saying earlier, weren't we, like, what's 1 hour a week with a therapist?
Yeah, like, people will say, like, aye, you can go see a therapist, go do that, and you got to sit there for 1 hour and talk to that person, but the rest of your week, you're not going to do nothing that's beneficial or to you or try and help you or heal you. And that guy's no magic. So, like, you need to fucking do this yourself. As hard as it is, you need to focus it on yourself. And aye, there's people there to help, but they're only there to help if you want it. And it takes a lot to get up and be like, yeah, I'm fucking struggling here. You know what I mean? But some people might judge you. Somebody punch me in the throat. Somebody's got to judge you for that. Just punch me in the throat and walk away. You know what I mean? Then go talk to somebody who will help you. Because they'll need to go get somebody to help me if you punch me in the face. You know what I mean? So, aye, that's the way it goes, man. There's too many shit where people bring other people down, and it's just a shit show that affects everybody else, you know?
I got a counsellor after my sister passed away, and it was good because they would bring out things in you that you didn't even realise were in there. So I can see why a counsellor would help people. But one of the biggest things that she said to me was, you get a book and you just write down positive experiences that have happened that day. and then you look back at them at night, so that you know that there is still positives. But one of the things she suggested was getting outside, shoes and socks off, and just like planting your feet in the grass. And then you just sit there for 5 minutes, you don't think about anything at all. Like if you see a leaf falling, you don't concentrate on anything, you just try and clear your mind. And she says that's something that really helped, and it did help me. Like he was saying about nature and things, it's weird, but it is like a bit of a natural healer. You automatically feel that wee bit. I mean, nothing's going to take the pain away, but it does help.
Clarify your thoughts, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Because that's how you heal.
You have that beautiful landscape, natural beauty around you. You can maybe find some solace in it. And I think, again, we were talking just before we started recording about like the band-aid over the wound, and it's like, yeah, okay, if you're just doing therapy and nothing else, it's probably not going to be enough. If you're just going outside and sitting in the garden for 5 minutes, it's not going to be enough. But if you have that whole picture, if you have put all of those things together, you know, and particularly in the context of when we were talking about problems, about, you know, whether you've got like proper local services, whether it's like a library or a swimming pool, or, you know, secure housing, or like you have a job and you get meaning from it, if you have all of those things together, then maybe it will help. But if it's just one of those things, it's never going to be adequate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know, people kill themselves when they're rich as fuck. You know, doesn't matter. Like, if you've got stuff or no got stuff, it's just how you feel at that point in your life, and aye, it's just the way it goes, you know. But people just need to kind of... I feel people should just be more angry. I think anger's the best way to deal with things. Like, you don't care if somebody's going to judge you if you're angry. You're like, you know what, I don't give a fuck what you say. Simple. You know what I mean? And then I think if people was more like that, they'd be better, because it's a lot of time to go, look, I'm struggling, I really need help, and you just be like, man, I can't fucking deal with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, aye. Whatever way you've got to, whatever way you need to get that shit out of you need to get that shit out of you. You know what I mean? Keeping that inside is not going to help. And like a lot of people will take drink or will take drugs to help their situation. It just makes it fucking worse. You know what I mean? It just makes you focus on the shit that's already breaking you. And it destroys you more.
There's a red room in Glasgow that I'm gonna book. You go in with a baseball bat and you just smash stuff up. I need to do that. I think we need to smash some stuff with a baseball bat. I think that'll hopefully help.
Do you guys, when you say you feel angry, is that directed at anything in particular?
No. My son's died. I don't really know why. Don't really have
Nothing to be
any
angry at.
answers, so it's quite difficult to fully heal and fully process, because I don't know what it is. And to be honest, like, I had a good relationship with Jack. I've got a good relationship with it. I've got a good relationship with my boys, and we do talk about a lot of shit. But obviously, there's things that, aye.
You don't talk to your parents about.
No, you're not a parent. You didn't talk to him. You know, it's just sometimes you just struggle to get out or whatever. And obviously, with Jack, I know he did have, like I did when I was younger, had problems processing his emotions and being able to turn around and say, this is what's fucking wrong, rather than just smash something because you're angry. And then people say, oh, he's angry. And it's like, no, it's a man's struggle. You know what I mean? So, aye. But whatever we can do to try and help anybody else so that they don't kill themselves, or their families don't need to deal with this shit.
I don't think people realise what they actually leave behind.
You know what I mean?
I think if they could actually see what it does to people, they would.
Yeah. Like you said to you on the roof, nobody loves me.
Nobody cares.
Most people had to stay outside for his funeral because there was too many people there. Place was too fucking full, eh? But nobody loved him, of course, you know.
Told them every night.
It's a problem, man.
Told them every night that I love them, but I think after a bit of time it doesn't process because you're doing it every night. So I think they stopped listening to that because they're just like, oh, that's something my mum's supposed to say. No, your mum's actually saying that because she wants you to hear it. She wants you to know that you're loved.
Ricky, just on this point, we're talking about support networks. You know, how do you feel about your relationship with your parents? Are you proud of them? Do you admire the way they've responded to this? I mean, what's your relationship with them been like as a result of this?
I've always been close with them my whole life. I think they've been handling it the way any parents would. Everybody's struggling. It's not like this happened, it goes away thing. It always just sort of leaves a little pit in your stomach. Like, for the first 2 weeks, it didn't really hit me at all. So I was like, I'm dealing with this quite well. And then there was a night, I went to walk by his room, and I just stopped. I was waiting to hear a noise. Just something come to it, and I knew nothing would come. That was the hard part, and that's what they're dealing with. I have to go in his room and get everything cleaned and just walk by it every night and know he's not in there. We're all struggling with it.
There's no noise. It's horrible.
Yeah, the house was always like, it's always been a very, very loud house because obviously, like, you've heard him speaking, you've heard him speaking. They two are quite loud, but Jack was the same, but Jack was always talking, like he'd sit there and he'd be like, Mum, and I'd be sitting like, no, I'm thinking, I don't understand a word you're saying, because he'd be talking to me about computers, and I'm like, but I'd just be sitting and they'd be like, yeah, and he'd just talk at you, and then he'd be like, do you understand that? Yeah, I understood everything, but he was like the loudest in the house, but also very, very quiet at times. Like, sometimes you wouldn't hear him coming down the stairs because he was that tall. Like, he'd just go for like the first step to the 6th to the 12th, like just 2 steps, and that was him down everything. But he was always in his room and he was always shouting at people on that fortnight. You're autistic! Jack, stop that. You are autistic. Well, they act at me.
Ricky, as a young man, you have a unique perspective on this because, you know, your brother was a young guy and you are as well. I mean, what would you say to other young lads who, you know, are in difficult situations? What's your message to them?
I know it's really hard, especially with the COVID and everything. It's a real struggle, but you need to try and talk to someone. Like, it's really difficult opening up sometimes, even to parents. But even if you just say, you know, when someone asks you, alright, even just telling them, no, I'm having a bad day today, that's the floodgates to everything else. That'll help you manage to show that, actually, no, I'm not okay. I need to talk to someone about this. Because no matter what, it's better out than in. Because if you just leave it inside, it bottles up and it gets worse. It gets worse. When if you just said something, even just a wee thing like having a crap day today, it could get fixed, could get sorted. I managed to talk to my best pal about some stuff that's been happening, and that really helped, just getting it off my chest. Just that weight off his shoulders. I know if he only opened up to me when he was up there. And there's not much I could do. I'm already running there, try to...
Of course.
If he just said something in my room, like, oh, not having a good day, I would have been able to talk to him and let him know that I've been through something similar. That's a good thing with Men Matter Scotland, is they took me out to a camping trip to just get away and talk to other people with similar things. So being able to talk to somebody with similar experiences that really helps, because they've got the same sort of outlook on things. So I think any young lad struggling should really look to just talk to someone. That'll help.
Helen, Ricky, anything else you'd like to add?
The only thing that upsets me is that the world don't know what it's lost. Our boy was amazing. He was handsome, kind, funny. He was going to be a millionaire. Definitely. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, our boy was going to be a millionaire. And I just wish he knew that however he was feeling at that time, it wasn't going to last forever. Nah. It wasn't. So it's a long-term solution for a short-term issue.
Nah. Sun rises every day, doesn't it? Such a loss, man. Aye. It's the only thing I can say to all these wins, man, is you might think nobody gives a fuck about you, but you're wrong.
I'd rather hear your story
You're
than your
right.
obituary.
You might think people are too fucking busy to talk to you, but you're wrong. Might be times when you've tried to speak up, but it's been the wrong cunt you spoke to, and that's where it's shatting you, you know what I mean? But straight up, aye, somebody always loves you, somebody always fucking cares.
More people than you know, more people than you realise. You touch people online, like I've had people reach out to me that feel like
Fucking hell, man.
school times that have been like, I've never actually met Jack, but just for the stories that you've posted online, I feel like I knew him, and I've got like a sincere sense of loss because I feel like I knew him. And that's people that didn't even meet him that are feeling like
Talk
that.
to that wee guy Deck, innit?
Mm-hmm.
People who played computer with online.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? People I didn't know. People hear you shouting it. Know what I mean? But aye. Just shows you, man. Like.
You touch a lot more people in your lifetime than you know.
Especially for the youngsters. Like, Discord and. Like. You know half the world, these wee dicks. Like, they literally know half the world, you know what I mean? And they don't realise that. So many people talk to them and they know all the things, and then the fuck you gonna know that many people and feel alone, but you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think that's one of the issues with social media though.
they're just standing there in the darkness, draped in despair, like nobody near you, and aye, everybody is there. Just seems so far to the next room, doesn't it? You know what I mean? That. I hope shit starts to sort itself out, because it's too much. It's too much, man. It's like every fucking week
They just have to deal with
a
this.
child's killed herself. A child's killed her. It's like getting worse and worse, man. And starting to see more and more, and it's like only made 18. My wee Jack has, but
Milestone.
aye, he'll turn 18 in November. You know yourself, man. You call yourself a grown ass man, you fucking money. You know what I mean? You don't really fucking be a man till you're like 24, 25, but you think as soon as you're 16 and get hair in your balls, you're alright. You know what I mean? But it's no. It's no.
Fuck's sake.
You know what I mean? Sorry.
It's important, isn't it, to have that sense of humour? Like, it's...
All three of them had that. A very dark, dry sense of humour.
You have to laugh, don't you?
You've got to. You know what I mean? Like,
I gave them into trouble for it.
you can't.
Constantly.
Doesn't make a difference, as you can see.
It's just how we talk to each other, isn't it?
Guys, I want to thank you for speaking so candidly, so honestly about this. Enormously difficult. I'm so impressed with your honesty and your bravery in doing this, and I want to thank you for doing it. I can see how painful it is.
I'm not going to make change if you're being fake, but I'm not going to help anybody if you're just pretending, you know.
As long as it helps one person,
It's worth it.
Aye.
that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Dude, I'll be honest, I don't know what's fucking worse. Us sitting here with the aftermath, or how alone he felt. You know? You okay? You'll be sick.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody.